Now, today marks the start of the first Aotearoa Rare Disorders Month in recognition of a population that has been left in the dark for too long. Unlike most OECD countries, New Zealand doesn't have a national strategy for rare disorders, and advocates say there's an urgent need for action to improve the health and well-being of more than 300,000 New Zealanders who live with a rare disorder. Misty Kimura is the mother of Kainoa, who has rare chromosomal disorder called mosaic trisomy 9. She communicates via sign language and understands both English and te reo. Misty is with us now from Papamoa. Tēnā koe, Misty. Thank you for joining us.
Tēnā koe, Neil. Thank you so much for having me.
Now, I believe your daughter Kai, is that how I say it?
Yeah, Kainoa.
Kainoa is the first New Zealander born with this disorder and is one of only 300 people in the world diagnosed. What's the journey been like for you just to get a diagnosis for Kainoa?
So it took 10 years actually for a diagnosis for Kai. Because the condition is so rare, she's 1 in 100 million, if we put it in those terms. And because it's mosaic, it actually means that she has an extra chromosome 9 in some of the cells. So it's really, really hard to be able to locate those cells in her body. It has been a journey. I think it's, we had 2 misdiagnoses of cerebral palsy and Angelman syndrome. We've had 2 skin biopsies also taken. She had 1 taken when she was 2, and then I fought for another one when she was 9 years old. She was being put under general anaesthetic for her growing rods. And so I pushed and I said, are we able to get another skin biopsy? And they actually told me no. They said, no, we're not going to do it. And I fought back and I said, well, this is our only option at this stage. It's been 9 years. We need to know. They took that biopsy at that time. And a year later, we actually found out what her condition was, which is, the trisomy 9 mosaicism. So struggle, it's always, you've always got to voice your what you want to be done. But, in the end, for us, it gave us a name, and it also meant that now we knew that we weren't alone, right? At that time, there were 200 and something people in the world, and then we were able to connect with those other whānau and their children, throughout the world. So
I can only imagine how painful this is for you as mama, for the whānau and for your baby. How challenging has it been for you to try to navigate the New Zealand health system, not only as Māori, but Māori with a rare disorder?
So we lived in Australia for most of her life. So she was born here in Aotearoa. We moved there when she was 9 months old. And yes, we came home 3 years ago. And that was primarily because we wanted her, we wanted to come home. But also the NDIS rolled out over there and she wasn't eligible being a New Zealander. So we've come back and it has been, it has been really hard to navigate this health system. I thought, we're coming home. We're going to be looked after. We're going to have access to this funding. We're going to have access to, a better health care system because this is our country. And it hasn't been that. I think also because COVID hit not long after we came back. And having a rare disorder, there's so many complications to it. She has a disability because of her rare disorder. And it's really hard because you end up being pushed into, so many different spaces. You've got to go to this specialist and you've got to travel to, if we live in Papamoa at the moment and we're having to see her orthopaedic surgeons up at Starship. So, we're traveling to Auckland all the time. We get sent to Whakatane for her dentist. It's not easy. And then also being Māori, we need to be more inclusive of our whānau when it comes to having a rare disorder. The person that has the rare disorder, there's a lot of people, there's a lot of members around her that are there to support her. And without having, those members and not having our voice heard, she can't be heard because she's non-verbal.
Now, I just want to touch on a parent guide that was launched this week at Government House for the thousands of whānau of children diagnosed with a rare disorder. What kind of support has there been for whānau previously having to deal with something like this?
So Rare Disorders New Zealand, they've always done a great job in advocating and connecting people with a rare disorder with their support groups. For ourselves, though, because our girls' condition is so rare, we don't have a support group. We have our family. We have a family page on Facebook that we connect with all the other whānau members around the world. This parent guide is going to be a great step.
Okay.
I wish that there was something like that for ourselves when we, with navigating that she didn't have a diagnosis. Where do we get that support from? It's really going to be amazing for our whānau, our rare whānau. But also, there will be another version coming out. This, being Māori, we do things differently, and we want to make sure that we are, connecting with our whānau Māori to make sure that they are being seen within this parental guide as well, and this carer guide. And that's something that we're working on, what I'm working on with Rare Disorders New Zealand at the moment too. But yesterday was an amazing day at our Government House, and I was luckily enough to be able to speak there too, and in front of 50-something people, and in front of the Whaia Cindy. She was a beautiful woman, and having my girl there with me. I think that was the difference, was that she was actually a part of that, of that journey. Her story's being told in this parental guide as well. So
beautiful. Look, Misty Kimura, mother of Kainoa, thank you so much for your time today. Here's hoping more action is taken to support others like Kai who suffer from a rare disorder. Ngā mihi. And keep in touch. We want to hear how things go for you.
Yeah, ngā mihi, Neil. This is actually Rare Disorders Month. It launched yesterday with the parental guide launch. So there's lots happening. Check out Rare Disorders New Zealand social media as well as their website. But any tautoko and support behind us means that our voices are being heard. So ngā mihi.
Ngā mihi ki a koe.